Coming up, the House of Representatives approves a $40 billion aid package for Ukraine, why North Dakota Congressman Kelly Armstrong voted yes. A local high school wins top ranking among all high schools in the state of North Dakota. And how area farmers are now nervous about the planting season. Hello and welcome to the Nightly Review. I'm Tom Tucker. We begin with a look at tonight's headlines, then a closer look, with comments tonight from North Dakota Congressman Kelly Armstrong on why he voted yes to sending $40 billion in additional U.S. aid to Ukraine, while that country's military conflict with Russia continues. And in tonight's one-on-one conversation, my guest is the candidate who is running for the state Senate seat in Minnesota District 4, who just received Republican Party endorsement. Dan Bohmer will talk about why he's running, and he'll comment on the ongoing party division in Clay County. But first tonight, Fargo is one of the first cities in North Dakota to receive an upgrade to the 911 system. We're told the new system uses GPS to provide more precise locations for callers using mobile devices to call into 911. Officials say callers' locations can be narrowed down to a width of a football field. The program is being rolled out in the rest of North Dakota and 14 other states, plus Guam. The Minnesota State Patrol has identified a Fargo teenager killed in a two-vehicle crash on Highway 10 east of Glendon Monday night. 19-year-old Sandip Tamang was trying to cross the highway when his car was struck by an SUV driven by a man from Ada. No one in the SUV was injured. There's no word yet on how that crash happened. A local high school is now ranked as the best in North Dakota. U.S. News has ranked Fargo North High School as the best in the state. Parameters for the rankings include college readiness, graduation rate, and state assessment performance. North boasts a graduation rate of 93%. Fargo Davies came in second place in the rankings, followed by Bismarck Century High School, Northern Cass, and Central Valley. A high-risk sex offender is moving to Moorhead. Randall Dean Adams will be living in the 1600 block of 4th Avenue North. Adams engaged in sexual conduct and contact with an adult female he did not know. The conduct included verbally threatening to sexually assault the victim and sexual touching. Well, today marks 1 year since the devastating fire that destroyed Gigi's Playhouse in South Fargo. The site is North Dakota's only Down Syndrome Achievement Center. Reconstruction continues at Gigi's, with operations continuing at a temporary location until the old center is rebuilt. Crews rebuilding the place hope the work is finished in July. A car wash fundraiser is being held Saturday, May 21st at Bailey's off 4th Avenue South. Clay County Sheriff Mark Empting says the FM Metro is beginning to be considered a hub for fentanyl distribution. That's because of the uptick in buying and selling taking place in the region.
Right now there's a demand for the fentanyl here in our metro area, which is very concerning for us because you don't know what the dose is in a particular pill. One particular pill could have a lower dose, another particular pill could have a higher dose, and that higher dose is the one that could, kill you.
Sheriff Empting says fentanyl pills have been recovered in at least 4 drug busts in Clay County over the past month alone. An outbreak of a disease amongst deer in western North Dakota last year is leading to a reduction in the number of hunting licenses being offered. The State Game and Fish Department is offering 64,200 licenses. That's down 8,000 from last year. Antlered mule deer licenses have remained the same. Overall success in 2021 fell to 57%. That's down from 68% in 2020. All Minnesota State Troopers are now wearing body cameras. The State Patrol is one of a growing number of law enforcement agencies to adopt the body camera technology. The head of the State Patrol, Colonel Matt Danger, says the technology creates a record of a police encounter and helps keep everyone accountable. Well, some lakes in Minnesota are still icy ahead of the state's fishing opener on Saturday. Pike Bay on Lake Vermilion was covered in 26 inches of ice 3 weeks ago, but is now clear. Officials at Fortune Bay Marina nearby say there's still some ice remaining there. Water levels are also concerning anglers because it causes problems for those planning to put in their docks. Some fishing outfitters say the higher water levels will create better fishing. Minnesota farmers are nervous about the delayed planting season. Some farmers say wet weather has put them at least 10 days behind. The State Department of Agriculture's latest report shows corn planting is only 9% complete. That's down from 48% at the same time period last year. Soybean planting is only 2% complete compared to 59% at this same time last year. In a closer look tonight, North Dakota Congressman Kelly Armstrong is explaining why he voted in favor of a $40 billion American aid package for Ukraine as the country continues to defend itself against the Russian military incursion.
This is proven throughout history, and it's going to continue to be proven into the future, that when we don't stand up to people like Vladimir Putin, the rest of the world doesn't as well. And if you think those problems stay over there over the long term, when you have Taiwan, when you have all of these other issues going on, that's just simply not true. This is as much an issue for national security.
The aid package was backed by every voting Democrat and by nearly 3 out of 4 Republicans. We're told the money will be used in part to give Ukraine military and economic assistance and to replenish weapons the Pentagon has already shipped to Ukraine. Armstrong appeared this morning on What's on Your Mind on AM 1100 The Flag. Several listeners criticized Armstrong for approving the spending package, especially with all the current problems here in the United States. The congressman talked about the food supply while justifying the bill.
If the Russians permanently take over the Odessa port, the world may run out of wheat in August. I mean, that's not hyperbole. That's not for certain, but there is a real serious issue to that. And if you start seeing food riots all across Northern Africa and those types of issues, this gets incredibly more expensive for not just the United States, but everybody worldwide.
The new legislation would bring American support for the effort in Ukraine to nearly $100 billion. That includes the $13.6 billion in support Congress enacted in March. The Senate is expected to consider the new aid package sometime next week. Well, if you haven't done so already, please be sure to hit subscribe and the bell button below to make sure you're always up to date on what's happening in the FM Metro and the surrounding region. I'd appreciate it. Well, when it comes to our weather, it looks like more rain could be on the way. Meteorologist Justin Storm has the forecast from the Skywatch Weather Center.
Thanks, Tom. Throughout tonight, we'll see some scattered showers and thunder showers across the area. A few storms are expected to our south and east over into Minnesota tonight, where a couple storms could be strong to severe, with hail and damaging wind being the main concern. We'll drop down to a low in the mid-50s tonight with 10 to 20 mile per hour winds out of the east. And then we'll see some more scattered showers and thunderstorms into your Thursday afternoon. Highs will be in the 70s. It will be breezy, and we are expecting more thunderstorms to develop by late afternoon and evening. A few of those storms will be strong to severe, with the main concern being large hail, damaging wind, and even an isolated tornado or two possible. Those storms push east into Minnesota into the overnight hours. The sunshine will return, though, on our Friday. It does remain breezy, highs near 70 degrees.
It could happen to you or someone you love. One moment, one diagnosis can change everything. Thankfully, there's a program that helps caring people uplift families through a crisis. Lend a Hand Up, raising financial help and hope through community benefits and online campaigns. A program that boosts generosity so gifts go further. Lend a Hand Up helps you help your neighbors. Learn more and give at lendahandup.org.
And welcome back to the Nightly Review. In tonight's one-on-one conversation, my guest is Dan Bohmer, the Republican State Senate candidate for Minnesota District 4. Over the weekend, Bohmer received the official endorsement from Republicans in District 4. The district includes Clay County, where the party is divided, with 2 men both claiming the title of county party chairman. I first asked Bohmer why voters should support him.
Well, I think my experience, my past experience, my leadership abilities have given me proven experience that will get things done. I've always been able to get a lot accomplished in all the roles that I've had, and I'll take that down to St. Paul and do my very best to ensure that the Senate District 4 constituents have a voice down in St. Paul. It's for many of us, it feels like we're out in greater Minnesota, we're lost. We get overrun by by the metropolitan area down Minneapolis, St. Paul, and it's understandable because that's a large concentration of population down in that area. But us out here in the hinterlands are just as important, and we need our voice heard down in St. Paul, and I think I can be that voice for our area.
There appears to be a lot of division in District 4 in Minnesota, with two men both claiming to be Clay County Republican Party chair, one of them being Edwin Hahn. Your thoughts on the infighting over the past couple of months?
As I said earlier to other people that have asked me, is I've tried to stay out of that. I wasn't involved in it at the beginning, and I don't want to get involved in it right now. I think that's an issue between the leaders of the local Clay County Republicans and then the state GOP to kind of work that out. I'm hoping that it won't be a distraction for our election and the constituents. And I think those internal fighting that's going on, it should not impact what we're trying to do here, and that's putting a strong voice down in St. Paul.
Crime in Minnesota and the state's $9.3 billion budget surplus seem to be two of the biggest topics in political circles in the state right now. What are your thoughts on those issues?
Well, I think public safety is obviously a big issue. As you say, it's what gets trumpeted in the papers a lot. And granted, it's not as bad up here as it is in the larger metropolitan areas, but all that stuff bleeds over. And so public safety is a critical thing that we need to address, and to ensure that all of us citizens feel safe in our homes and in our communities. And how do we do that is by ensuring that we're standing in support of our public safety officers and making sure that we're holding them accountable as well, of course. And so everybody can feel safe, and that's an important part of the community. And then obviously spending and taxation is always an issue, especially with our rapidly increasing inflation. It's even hitting more home how important it is for us citizens to be allowed to keep more of our own money. When the state has a surplus like they do right now, it really highlights the insane amount of money that we're paying into the state, that they can have that kind of a surplus. And instead of them looking for ways to spend it, they should be looking at ways to not only give it back to us, but fix it. And so we're not doing this yo-yo back and forth.
COVID-19 certainly a major issue over the past couple of years. What is your position with regard to mask mandates and vaccine mandates?
I think medical decisions are best left to the people and the physicians that their medical providers that they see. Politicians really don't have a place in that, or unelected bureaucrats have even less of a place in that, because at least politicians are speaking hopefully for their constituents, where unelected bureaucrats are speaking for nobody.
I'd like to thank Minnesota State Senate candidate Dan Bohmer for joining me for tonight's one-on-one conversation. Even though Bohmer has received the party endorsement, fellow Republican candidate for District 4, Edwin Hahn, says he intends to continue his campaign. The primary election in Minnesota takes place on Tuesday, August 9th. Well, that will do it for this Wednesday night, May 11th, 2022. I'm Tom Tucker. Thanks for watching the Nightly Review.